All right, so we are now here at the Tetons in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is our second day here. We got a little bit of a late start. We were trying to find a place to eat in the morning, and we really couldn't find a place. We were able to eventually, though. So then we stopped in the visitor center, which was absolutely amazing. It was probably the best one we've stayed at yet. And now we are at the first point of the Teton Mountains. So I'm going to turn the camera and I'm going to show you guys. So if you guys did not know, the Tetons are just one continuous mountain range. I'm not sure of how many mountains the Tetons consist of. I will look that up later, and I will edit that in once I find the information. So the highest peak here in the Teton mountain range is right up there. So that is the highest peak out of the entire mountain range. I'm not sure how tall the highest peak is, though. It's 113,000 feet. Sorry, I said that wrong. Not 113,000 feet. It is 13,000 feet in elevation. So that is the point right there. That is the 13,000 feet in elevation. All right, so I just found the information. There are 134 named, so these are only named mountains in the Teton mountain range. So 134 named mountains. Now there are probably there is a high number of unnamed mountain ranges, but there isn't a number for that. So if you guys are curious, the amount of named mountain ranges in the Teton mountain range is 134. So I found that kind of interesting, and now we're going to be heading over to the next point. All right, so we are now at our next location. We are at the Teton Glacier. So the glacier is mainly in the middle of the mountain, so I'm just going to show you guys. So this entire mountain was named the Teton Glacier, but the main part of the Teton Glacier, I'm not sure if you can see it, is right there. So that is the main point of the Teton Glacier. And then this is the whole area surrounding it.
Actually, it's another 20 years.
And the glacier has slowly melted away over the years, so it has become less and less. So that area used to be much bigger and larger, but that is what we see now from years of melting and just it, like I said, melting. Now we're going to head over to the next location. All right, so we have now gone to our next overlook area. So if you see right there, the mountain that has the clouds covering the peak, that is the tallest mountain here. That is the one that is 13,000 feet in elevation. So I'm going to zoom in on that for you just to show the sheer scale of it. So starting from here, this is our elevation, going all the way up to 13,000 feet. And like always, if you are enjoying the video and if you would like to see more content like this on national parks, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload another one of these videos in our national park line. All right, we are now heading back to the car. All right, so right now we're heading to our next point. It was an overlook at Jenny Lake. We're still heading there, but right now we're stuck in a little bit of traffic. I'll show you guys. We have that in front of us, and then outside we have some traffic going down that way, so we'll be stuck here for a little bit. So I just wanted to show you guys the scenery around us, since this is actually really cool. So this is in a more lush wood part of the drive. This is a really nice area. I like it a lot. The trees are pretty cool. And as a little fun fact, well, not really fun fact, more of a tip. One of the ways to spot any kind of animal in the woods, if you are looking for them, such as bear, elk, or anything else, is to see everything in Everything that you'll see in the forest or in the woods is standing vertically straight up, but any animals you'll see will be up off the ground and they'll be standing horizontally. So if you're ever looking for an animal to see, look for something that's up off the ground and horizontally. That is the only thing you'll see that is that in the woods.
So I don't know if people are trying
Like pop up or tell you something.
I don't know if people are trying to go on that side of that, but there's a, just go straight.
All right, so due to the traffic where Lake Jenny was, we decided to skip that so we would have time to see Lake Jackson, which is actually much, much bigger. So now we are at a scenic overlook for the mountains, which is probably the nicest one we've seen yet. So I'm going to hop out of the car and I'm going to give you guys a All right, so here we are at the mountain overlook.
That's supposed to be my shark.
So most of these mountains are barely touching, with only one of them surpassing how high the clouds are. The clouds are in about 10,000 feet of elevation, and the highest mountain is 13,000 feet in elevation. So it's about a 3,000 foot difference when it comes to the cloud to mountain ratio for the tallest mountain. Now, obviously, as you can see, some over there are much shorter than others, but some of the mountains here are very tall, and this is probably one of my favorite experiences yet. Now we're heading back to the car to head to our next location, which I am actually not sure what it is. Dad? Can you unlock the car? Sorry about that, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Alright. So I am hopping back in, and now we're going to head out onto the road again. Alright, so we have made it to our next destination. We are now at Pothole Turnout. So we are now heading out of the car to take a look. Now, one thing my dad has been trying really hard to see, he's really wanted to see some kind of animal, in particular, a bear. So if we do see anything, I'm going to try my best to be able to catch that on camera. So this is the view from Pothole Turnout. So you get a nice mountain view, and then you also get some hills over there. And it is absolutely amazing here because the only thing you can smell is evergreen trees, and also it is dead silent. The only thing you can hear are birds. Most of the time, if you're in an area like this where there isn't anybody else parked, this is just absolutely amazing. And that was a view of Pothole Turnout. And if you are enjoying this video, also we have some more national park videos that we have done. We have a video on us driving and walking through Yosemite Park and much more coming on the way. So if you would like to see those are in my channel's bio, and I will also have a link in the description. Alright, so we are now heading to our next destination. Alright, so we are now at a scenic overlook. We are 7,726 feet up into the air. Alright, so we are now driving down from our scenic overlook that gave us a nice view of, the mountain range and everything around that, such as the Snake River, which was that long river that you guys saw to the left of the mountains. So now we are still driving down, but we are coming up to where we should be able to hopefully see the Jackson Lake. Alright, so we're pulling up now. Alright, so so we are now hopping out of the car. So we are near a lodge. I'm not sure if this is actually a scenic overlook or if this is just a lodge area, but we are walking up to where we will be able to see a scenic overlook of the Jackson River. So you walk down this little stone path, and here is an awesome view of not the Jackson River, I did not mean to say river, of the Jackson Lake. So this is absolutely amazing. And this is definitely something that the camera can't do it justice, and this is definitely something you need to go see in person. All right, so we are now gonna head back. All right, so we are now at another little overlook that you just pull over on the side of the road. And before you ask, are you allowed to do that? Yes, you are. This was actually made by the National Park Foundation, and they built this in. And this is an absolutely stunning and breathtaking view of the Jackson Lake. So if you look far back, you can actually still see the mountains, and you see that there's actually a decent amount of snow on them still. There's some nice trees around here. If you look to the right, it is mostly just trees. But if you look to your left side, which is where we are, you get a beautiful view of the lake. Now we are getting close to the end of our journey in this park. But it has been a great time so far, and we're probably going to hit a few more locations from what I believe. All right, so we are now at the dam of the Jackson River. This thing is super loud, so it might be a little hard to hear me, but this pipes all of the water from the Jackson River, Jackson Lake, sorry, out onto the other end. Now the sound is kind of dying down over here, so I should be able to talk a little bit better. This is actually a decently sized water source. So all this water is getting vented through from the lake. All right, so that was a view, drive, and walkthrough at the Grand Tetons National Park in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoyed filming this one. This was an awesome experience, and I'd highly recommend it for anybody in this area or traveling to this area. And like always, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe, because that always helps us out a lot. And I will see you guys on the next one.